lit, dog.
Is it actually working?
We're live, dog, right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle,
KZ.
and we are coming at you with a surprise live episode of Veteran Chat Project
On a Monday.
on a Monday night. What we normally record on Mondays, my cousin is sick, so she was not able to join us. So we decided, since we issued a challenge on our last Turret Talks, nobody really seemed to take the bait. Maybe just because they were worried that they were going to write it and no one else was going to. So I feel like in true leadership fashion, if you want to call it that, here we are. We're going to go first. So we'll maybe get a second to see if anybody wants to jump on and listen. I'm going to post the link here in the comments in case anybody wants to jump in, just like on our Turret Talks. You feel free to jump in, hang out with us, talk about it. After we're done talking about it, if you got anything, I mean, even just off the top of your head, you'd like to say to your younger self, come on in, dude. Let's talk about some shit. Let's chat it up.
Yeah. I like this is pretty cool what we're doing. We usually have these deep conversations recorded and just you and I, but I think this is cool that we're opening up this avenue for for other people to hop on. Like Kyle said, like we're not this is kind of like what we do for Turd Talk Fridays or every other Friday. But we'll try our best to stay on task and which is veteran mental health or just mental health overall. Hey, real quick, I know your cousin's sick. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. It's just she got like cold. She just had a baby not too long ago, so she can't take any meds. So she didn't want to like be on here all having a cold. So she's still breastfeeding.
Oh, gotcha.
Looks like Eddie typing away in the I know he jumped in at the end before we cut off. He was really actually the other person that was super stoked about that letter to me, and I bet he wrote it too. I know he did. He's probably working right now though. Shout out to my boy Eddie. What up?
Working hard.
Got a shirt for you if you wear large, Eddie. Got one just for you. For all the help you have provided.
Holy cow!
This project.
Of course, I want to jump on. Mindy Davis. Who is that?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Her and all their number one fans.
That's my big old mother-in-law right there.
Big
as a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, how long? We'll get people on for sure.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
This was from my perspective writing this letter. I wrote this letter while I was out of town. I think I was in Ohio or Virginia. Yeah. I can't remember what town I was in, but I wrote this when I was out of town, and fuck, man, it took a lot. I rewrote it like 10 times, dude. And I had to read it out. Like I read it out loud to myself. And like the very end of the letter that I wrote was a lot of things that people in my life have told me. And it was just like I was like, damn, did you just say that to yourself?
Yeah.
So it was very eye-opening, very humbling. And it just kind of reaffirmed that like my what do you call it? My support system, because I was saying things that they had told me for years.
Right, and you didn't realize that you were hearing until you heard.
Yeah,
until you're like, "Oh
good.
Shit, dude, I was listening," and they have been here this whole time.
Yeah, it felt good to say it out loud and be like, "Oh, I actually believe those words," and I believe those words because they've been beat into me, in a positive way. They've been beat into me for the past 13 years. So yeah.
Yeah, I think with mine,
How about you, man? How was it?
it was a lot of self reflection. I mean, which I do on a pretty repetitive basis anyway. Um, but I don't know. Like before we said jumping on, like I didn't want to fuck with the timeline, so I didn't want to give myself any information. I didn't want to say, hey guy, take this left turn, or like maybe don't go right here and do that, because all the oopses and all the fuck ups, all the bad parts, all the good choices, everything. It led me to exactly where I am, and I mean it's one of those things where like you're having a shitty day in Iraq, like why the fuck am I doing this? Like one day it'll make sense why you fought so hard, or did all the shit that questioned, or not even questioned, just you just did, not even questioning, you just went to work, did your shit, and went home and did. I mean, them 4 years flew by so quick, and
So fast.
but it's still such a major part of your existence, and it's also not. I mean, there's so much other shit, but basically, yeah, I just wanted to stay away from giving myself outs. Basically, if I know if I knew too much, I would make different decisions because I know myself. So it was hard to do. I tried to keep it not like super long too, because as I told you again before we jumped on, it could have went very quickly to a letter to myself, or from a letter to myself to a long diatribe, cry about all the things that happened in my life sort of situation. Which I mean, like I'm not really at that point anymore. So I think that was kind of another decision leading into that as well, because I think at this point in my life, I'm more thankful than anything about my life and where I'm at. And even the some days when they do get tough, I am still at the end of those days very thankful for where I'm at, because again, there was some stressful days, there were some long nights, there was
For sure.
there was some business, but yeah.
I'm proud of you. I read yours. I'm proud. I'm proud of you for doing it before you read it. Well, just remember that. So, I mean, side note though, real quick, I did. I told you I did catch myself doing that. Like, I was writing like the first 5 out of 10 drafts I was writing. I was like, wait, don't give too much away to your younger self, because you're gonna fuck up the space time continuum. And I was like, wait. I was like, hold the fuck on.
You're gonna fuck up the timeline. Like, dude, you've been watching Ant-Man too much.
Yeah, it's just write the damn letter. So yeah, and the cool thing about this letter to yourself, this episode will be recorded and put on the podcast. But like, the cool thing about this letter to everyone who's willing to do it is there are no rules to it. Just write it. What would you say? Would you give yourself words of wisdom? Would you give the
dear younger
advice?
me? Don't be a fucking idiot. Like, at the same time, like, do, because you were, and then if you weren't, you wouldn't have. That's it. It's hard. Yeah. Again, even saying that's like too much, because my dude, me, like, you were an idiot, younger me. You still kind of are in that aspect, but hey, that's what life's all about. 1% every day, 1% better than you were woke up. That's what, or 1% better than you were when you woke up.
Exactly. So you want to paper, rock, scissors this thing, or you want me to go first?
No, I'll do it.
Or you want to wait?
I'll do it.
You sure?
I'm in.
All
Tag
right,
me in,
anyway.
coach. Attention, all 3 listeners. I'll do it now before everyone gets on. So here we go.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dude.
All right. Dear younger self, as I sit here and reflect on all the things that have happened in my life, I want to take a moment and share some advice with you. Advice that would help you tremendously as you navigated through life. First and foremost, you always trust your gut. That little feeling inside of you that tells you whether or not something is right or wrong, listen to it. It'll always guide you in the right direction. Sometimes things may not work out or make sense at first, but that's okay. Just know that things tend to unfold as they should, and everything always works out in the end. There are truly hard times ahead of you, but all of them will prepare you for all of the things you have ever dreamed of. You may not understand it at the time, but each experience, every obstacle you face, will shape you into the person you are destined to become. So never give up, persevere through the hard times, and remember that it'll all be worth it in the end. Hang on, I gotta scroll down. Hold up. I don't want to give away too much of the future, but just know that we are doing all right. In fact, we're doing more than all right. We're thriving, living our best life thanks to the choices we made. Every choice we made with our heart. We always followed our passion and did what we felt was right, even when it seemed crazy to those around us. We have never regretted doing so. Lastly, always remember to stay true to yourself, be authentic, and never try to be someone that you're not. Embrace your true self, your flaws, and everything. It's much easier to be yourself than to pretend to be someone else. And more importantly, people will love you for who you are. So, dear younger self, always trust your gut, persevere through the hard times, follow your heart, and above all, stay true to yourself. You will go on to do great things and make a positive impact on the world. I'm so proud of you and everything you have accomplished so far. With love and admiration, your older self. You old sumbitch. You made
Dude,
it.
that was really good. You did tweak it a little bit.
A little bit.
That
So
was
yeah,
awesome.
congratulations, you old son of a bitch. You made it.
That was awesome, dude. How did it feel to read that out loud?
I felt like I was reading a script, but I mean, I kind of was. But yeah, that was it. I do wish I had read it earlier out loud before, but yeah, I do like it.
Proud of you, man. That was good. Those are good. That's powerful, dude. Holy
I don't like to
shit.
speak unless it's powerful. Power. Hang on, because it was.
That was good, dude.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't want to sell the farm to myself, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't want to get too off the path of what the letter was supposed to be. As just like a reminder of, you're gonna earn your stripes and you're gonna go through it, and then you're gonna eventually gonna have to learn how to change after going through all that, and that's like where I'm at right now. Is like I said, I don't want to bring up the past and all that shit in the thing, because I'm not there anymore. I'm over. I'm actually, starting to move forward and live for every day, so to speak. I want to be present as much as possible. So that's the direction I took it in.
It's a good direction too. I mean, that's. I hope someone can take away from that. I hope our listeners can take away from that message that you sent. Very positive. I mean, I don't foresee any letters being negative, but that's very positive.
Well, I mean, they
dude.
can
I'm
be.
fucking proud of you.
If
man.
it's
it's true. Yeah,
they can be negative. I mean, it very easily could have been negative to myself. But that's a habit that I'm trying to break. That self-negative talk is pretty much the biggest problem I have. I'll even say it like right now live, is like in my relationship, is like I'll probably say things in my head that aren't real, and then like that self-negative talk. And then so like, well, I'm thinking like, oh, if my wife says something, so it's like, oh, so it's because, oh, you said this, oh, is it because I didn't do this, or it's like not enough, or I didn't do this. And so again, that positive self-talk is like a huge thing for me. We talked about that law of attraction. That's been a huge thing for me. I learned about it. It's been even harder to, live it. It's like breaking a cycle.
Oh, yeah.
For me of negativity. I mean, you know me. Not necessarily like a negative person, but I definitely got no problem calling out negativity in the world or in whatever. I call it like I see it. I might not always be right, but you know what? Feel free to tell me.
You're
if
a
I'm
big
not.
realist. You're one of my few friends. You're one of my few friends that are realists. And some people can look at it as like, Kyle's looking at everything glass half empty. I was like, but no, he's just measuring it for what it is in the moment. So yeah, that's So we got some feedback from your letter here. Hold on. Movie. Maybe said moving. I hate saying her first name. It's so weird for me.
Then don't. Everybody
no,
knows by now.
Yeah, Mom said, moving forward is awesome. Acknowledging your lessons learned in the past. They formed your present and will impact your future. No doubt. No doubt, dude.
Yeah.
I think you should save this later, man. I think you should save it, and then we should reflect on it in a year's time from now and see if anything changes.
What was it? 5:20. It's in the book.
It's in the... Write it down. Yeah, write it down. It's in the... It's gonna happen for sure. Anything that gets written down.
I'm waiting for Funk to be like, it's in the book.
Yeah. So for people that are just joining right now, Kyle put out a challenge last Friday was it last Friday or a couple Fridays ago that we were on Turret Talks. Challenge was to write a letter to your younger self. What would you say to that person? Kyle just read his. I thought it was amazing, very powerful, positive message about moving forward and keeping your head up and learning from the choices you made and living with the choices you made. He sent that challenge out to everybody. Again, like we said on the Turd Talks, if you want to write a letter to yourself and share it, we'd love to hear it. If you want to write a letter to yourself, read it out loud and burn it. Never read it again. Do that too. Whatever helps you. Yeah. Whatever helps you today. That's what we're about. We're big on mental health and veteran mental health, and Kyle thought that was an awesome idea. I think it's an awesome idea. What would you say to your younger self? What would that letter look like? What would it sound like? If you want us to read it, you can send that letter to veteranchatproject@gmail.com. If you want to share it yourself, let us know. We have a link in the comments. We'll once I read mine, we'll pop y'all on and have some feedback. And if you want to share your letter or share your thoughts on it too, about what you tell your younger self, we'd love to hear it.
Absolutely, anybody.
But yeah,
whoever.
Heck yeah.
All right, dude. Hang on.
So you
Should
ready?
we drum roll it?
Okay.
Let's see it. No, I'm just kidding. Well,
Let's see it.
I'm not kidding because I actually did
All right,
it.
here we go. All right, here we go. Dear KZ, it's me, your 34-year-old counterpart. I know exactly where you're at right now. You're 18 years old. You've been expelled from high school for a juvenile mistake you made. Your recruiter, Staff Sergeant Porter from the Marine Corps, was there to speak on your behalf. Dad was also there to fight for you for your reinstatement to high school. I think it's safe to say that they needed to make an example out of you by not giving you the second chance. It's okay. Things will work out. This I can promise you. Keep your head up. This is not the first time your planned path alters because of decisions you make. Get used to that. You're going to fuck up a lot, and I mean a lot. Some of these mistakes you will learn from. Some you still make today. You'll want out of that small town and nothing more to see it. You want out of that small town and want nothing more than to see it in your rear view. I get it. The 4-4 is a small town, but you'll grow to want that small town back one day, believe it or not. That small town will be in the back of your mind when you're stuck in impossible situations in the future, wondering why you decided the military was a good idea. That small town will give you hope when you return to it 2 decades from now. Speaking of the military, yes, we did it. We joined. We did exactly what we signed up for. We went and deployed, went to war. We deployed at the end of the conflict too, and got to see the evolution of it all. You'll see. A bulk of your mistakes are going to happen in this chapter of your life. You're not going to be prepared for it, but it will happen. Getting out of the military, yes, we did get out, is going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. You're going to put on a brave face and tell the world you're okay, but you won't be. You won't be okay. The only person that knows you're not okay is the person who chose to say yes to spending the rest of her life with you. I wish I could prepare you for the pain you're going to feel after service. I wish I could prepare you for funerals or tell you you're going to be too scared to attend some of them, but you'll see. I wish I could tell you that you'll come out of this unharmed and the invisible wounds that were placed on you emotionally and mentally were temporary, but you'll see that too. I wish I could tell you that your beautiful wife and kids some days were not enough to hold you back from almost making an irreversible mistake, but you'll see that too. What I can tell you and leave you with is that you're okay. You have a purpose. You found your life's purpose in helping others both professionally and personally. Your support system is immovable. The Mount Everest of support systems is behind you, between your wife, your mother-in-law, your family, and your brothers you made while in service. Nothing in our life will be perfect, and that's okay. You'll be okay. I'll be okay. And okay is a great place to start and a great destination to get to. Thanks. Your future self.
Hell yeah. So I'll ask you, after it settles, let it nestle, how did it feel? Bledsoe, click the link, jump up in here. Let's see that pretty that Ben Affleck
Love you,
looking
dude.
face. Before you answer the question, I'll give you a little bit to reflect on it. Josh Wielden, Eddie's buddy up there, up in the PNW Pacific Northwest Vets,
Yeah.
jumped in here and commented. So currently part of the Travis Manion Foundation Spartan Leadership course, TMF is based on positive psychology. We have been working on priming an upward spiral by doing the following 3 things. Exercise and journaling, 3 things you appreciate about the day. I like that. I'm
Hell
not
yeah,
crying,
dude.
you are. Oh. That was, so now, how's it feel, dude, to have said it out loud to now 5 people? 5, 7, 12 people. No, I'm just kidding. 5. Doesn't matter. How does it feel?
Scary, but almost felt kind of naked reading that out loud. This is different. Sharing it with sharing with my wife and sharing with you is different. But I'm glad I did it. It's almost relieving too to like read it out loud and just see what I wrote on paper.
Yeah. For me, yeah.
And hard not to cry when I read it.
I was trying to just push through it, like get through. Okay, good. Now I
Yeah.
can make a joke. Who we got?
Yeah.
We got a
So,
surprise entry coming in. Someone's popping in, I think.
So yeah, I hope that letter helps at least one person. At the very end there, I meant what I said as far as like being okay. As veterans, we go through a lot, especially after service, because we feel alone. Look at him. Look at him.
My
Look at those
man.
eyes.
What's up, boys?
What
What's up,
up?
man?
I'm out here in that gym
Iron
area.
Paradise.
The Iron Paradise out there
People
in the
are
break
supposed to
room.
lift these things. I guess it makes them feel better or something.
Yeah. Or you
What's up,
just
man?
sit on them and reflect on your day.
That's what I mean. There's a mirror behind me. I just like to look at myself really and have conversations.
Hell
Dude, I
yeah,
hopped
dude. What's
on.
up,
Literally,
man?
I didn't even realize you guys were on. I hopped on because like whenever I get on Facebook, I'll pop to the videos. That's the only thing I do
Friday.
on Facebook. That's all. Yeah, that's literally all I do. I hop on the videos, and I seen you guys. I was like, "Uh-oh, I gotta hop on."
Well,
Hell
glad
yeah,
you
You
did,
guys have
dude.
been doing such an awesome job, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. We grinding.
You
Grinding
guys
hard trying to
have.
push
I
this
mean,
fucking podcast,
listening
man.
just to listening to your story back to yourself, Boughton. I mean, it hit some feelers.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to read. I'm not gonna lie. That was it was
I
hard to
bet.
write too.
I
It was
bet,
hard to
brother.
write,
I,
but I hope it helps. As much as it hurt to write, I hope it helps somebody. I mean, that's the whole goal.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Fuck. Yeah, man. What about you, Bledsoe? If I don't want to put you on the spot, but like, I mean, I'm not going to ask you to say the whole thing, but if you could tell your younger self one phrase or one key piece of advice, what would you tell your younger self now?
Uh, don't overthink it.
I like that.
Yeah,
Don't
that's huge.
overthink it. I mean, I feel like I've always kind of overthought everything, and I mean, yeah, I guess it's good at some points, but it's also bad at a lot. You know what I mean? By overthinking, you miss out on things, or you're too late for things. I don't know. I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be married to Abby Byro. You know what I mean? I never thought my wife would be my wife. Like the type of person she is, the family I never in a million years would have thought that. But I didn't. You couldn't have told my young self that. Like I jumped on that immediately as
Yeah.
soon as I could. You know what I mean? I was like, shoot. But never in my life, you know what I mean, did I really think I had a chance.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. Don't overthink it.
no, man.
You chill it. Yeah.
I mean, you're in my eyes, your life is already written out in a book. You're just turning a page. When that story is in, that's when it was meant to be in.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
happens, supposed to happen. So just go for it.
Hell yeah, dude. And you're
yeah,
one
for
that goes
sure.
for it too. I mean, how far along now? Has it almost been a year with your business now?
Uh,
Ooh.
it's been probably like we actually had it like a truck up and running the start of January.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it ain't been. I mean, that it ain't been that long, but I mean, it's probably been close to 6 months, 7 months. I mean, well, we went to Ohio, drove to another state, bought a truck, had a bunch of racks and stuff welded. You know what I mean? Put together, built the back of this truck. So I mean, it took a while to get it going, but I mean, shoot, bro, we've gotten tomorrow. I think we're going to get this Greg Hubler here in Greenwood, Indiana. They're just now building. I think it's going to be a killer lot for us.
That's awesome, dude.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah!
it's
Why
like
don't
That's
ten
you
minutes
awesome.
away from the house
tell
too.
some people, tell the listeners, tell a little bit about your business, dude. Plug yourself. You already told us where you
Oh
are.
yeah, we're mobile paint specialists. What you know?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. Do mobile paint touch ups, alloy wheels, headlight restoration, bumper blends. I mean, really, basically anything besides painting a full car, you need it done. We got you, and I get there's no competition around us. I don't care who they are; they're not as good as we are.
Boom. Said it. Let's
Greenwood,
go.
Indiana area. You heard it here
And I,
first.
I, I work at so many car lots. I see so many different touch ups and things that are on there. I mean, these people look like they're just taking like nail polish, literally a bunch of different colors of nail polish, and just putting it. You know what I mean? The closest color they can, putting it on a car. I'm like, dude. I mean, I paid.
That's why people are shopping for new contractors to do that shit because
Yeah, I mean, we had to
if
pay a
they're
couple
looking at that
grand.
thing doing
I
like
mean, but we have a full paint mixing system, so every car, like whenever you're looking at your bin, it'll tell you what kind of paint code you have for your car. We just look at that paint code, type it up. I mix the paint up. You know what I mean? And we just mix it up to exactly your paint code, and I mean, it's identical to it. It's
that's badass.
you got to spend a little money to get that system, but
You spend money to make money.
right. I mean, what kind of
Yeah.
company is going to want to hire me putting nail polish? You know what I mean on their shit. You know what I mean? That doesn't even matter.
Spend a couple grand, then you got you could sell that as part of your
Right.
service. Like, look
Uh
what I got
oh.
right here. I can plug in the code.
Abba
Is that
Dabba just came out here.
oh
That's our future
ooh
guest. You talking about?
Yeah, bro.
ooh?
I'm telling you, the doc over here, she's been working
Let's
on
get her.
me. I'm telling y'all, she.
Who's on the line? Who's on the line?
Bro, this
You're
is
still
T
you're on a lot.
and Mowgli. You're live.
Hey, you're live on Veteran Chat
You're
Project
live.
right
There's
now.
probably 30 million
So
viewers watching right now.
There's 3 people watching right now,
There's
so you
30
need to
million
watch what you
viewers,
say.
Turner. There's 30
Yeah.
million
Or-
viewers.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah, you're
There's
right.
30 million viewers.
Yeah, you're right. It is 30 million.
But I'm telling you, dude, like, I
My
think
fucking eyes are
the
fucked.
stuff that she reads daily, especially you about in the medical field. I mean, the field that you're in. I
Yeah.
feel like this. Z loved
Functional
it. He's
medicine.
functional medicine. I mean,
That
I
is
think Boughton, like, you
his
just
realm.
the educational hard on in his brain is like ding. You know what I mean?
Please
Like,
look up
because I love hearing
TBIhelp.org.
it too.
Look up TBIhelp.org and look up
Isn't
Dr.
she
Michael
gorgeous,
Gordon.
y'all?
Stop it. Get me off there. I don't want to be on there.
Nah, dude, you live with
You
30
say
million viewers.
TBI help or health?
Help. HELP.org.
Help.
Yeah, and it has Dr. Michael Gordon. He's even on, he even has the talks with, what's his name, Hogan?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's on all the talks with
Joe
Hogan.
Rogan?
Joe Rogan. Yeah,
Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe
My
Hogan.
bad.
Hogan.
I like
I'm
it.
not, like, real cool with the name.
Hulk Hogan?
But, yeah,
She seen my bicep and was thinking Hulk Hogan.
that's what it was. Shit.
That's what it is.
Shit,
That's what it
damn
is.
balls. But no, that's not it. No, but here's the thing. He even has a show on Amazon Prime. I encourage everybody to check it out. It's called Silent Explosions, and it's probably only like $4.99, but like it's worth your investment. It talks all about traumatic brain injury and how you don't have to have full loss of consciousness to truly have traumatic brain injury, and it's pretty dramatic what even the rumbles from your gunshots do on the pituitary gland and what it does to hypothalamus, which then has all about neuroendocrine health, which all falls back
told
on
you about
traumatic brain injury, neurotransmitters, anxiety, depression, and PTSD. So I promise you all day long, like, get your stuff checked. You don't know how many guys, like, it's not just Philip. Like, he came home, this is what got me interested in it. He was only 22 years old and his testosterone was 40. It should have been 800. Like, why? Well, the reason why is because that rattling on that pituitary and you shake that hypothalamus, well, then what do you got? Like, you know,
How crazy is that,
a
dude? My shit was
downgrade of
40.
failure.
And everybody
That
that
is
knew me,
crazy.
my brother and everybody, they were like, dude, there is no way your testosterone is low. You know what I mean? Like, I swear to you.
I swear it made him
no
hypo
way.
asshole,
No way.
but
They're like, there's no way
hyper
you're,
asshole.
you know what I mean? The type of person you are, just the type of person I know, there's no way that your
Yeah.
shit is low. And I mean, honestly, it was when I started taking medicine and getting stuff, you know what I mean? Started getting treated
But,
to help.
you know,
It made
like,
a world difference in my life.
I'm not trying to be dramatic, but, like,
In my
there's a
feeling.
lot of tie-in even with, like, long-term COVID because, you know, long COVID all has to do with cytokines. Well, cytokines in the brain, like, say you get the virus that crosses the blood-brain barrier, so it causes an increase in interleukin 2, 6, and TNF. Well, in turn, what does that do? Same thing as getting hit, knocked out on your Humvee or your tank, getting rolled over. Let's say your buddies, half of them are like, shit, I don't remember a couple minutes and I woke up. Well, that's enough to be a traumatic brain injury. Not only is that enough to be a traumatic brain injury, but so is being a child and having abuse or neglect. The amount of cytokines and release from stress response from your adrenal glands and all is enough to cause
Right.
a traumatic brain injury. So if you're gonna, traumatic brain injury gets overlooked all day long, every day, and that's why I think we have so many diagnoses of like bipolar disease and PTSD and such, and I can go on and on. But it gets even worse when you put people in fight or flight constant situations. So you look at the military.
Oh yeah.
They're constantly being put into that. Well, think about that little kid that's being constantly put in that because their parents are both on drugs and they're in the middle of the ghetto. They don't know when they're going to eat next. They don't know if they're going to go to school. They don't know if their dad's going to. Who knows? But I'm just trying to say, like, that is all comparative when you look at mental health across the board across the United States. Like, that's where we're missing mental health.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Fuck
I
yeah.
thought that stuff sounded dumb, but whatever. You know?
Shut the fuck up. Shit. Oh,
whatever.
man. When are we going to Mexico again, you guys? We need to go back to Mexico.
Dude, we do. So bad.
Yeah.
This, by the way, is
Dig that.
tobacco.
Dude, so back
not
onto
be.
my peptides
I'd rather it
that
not
we don't
be.
want to, like, let's talk about those. I think everybody needs to be on peptides. So I have about 20
Peptides.
peptides. I want all of our buddies from our groups to get in
Y'all
on,
need to hear this.
and I'll like prescribe them to you all and tell you all to take them, and also get you on this kind of like brain rehab supplement group, like which is all created by Dr. Gordon. But like I think what they're missing is the peptide portion. So peptides are like, so insulin's peptide, for example, which you
Yeah.
all know we all need insulin to survive. But peptides are just basically protein channels. Like you just have a bunch of amino acids tied together and just a few chains short of being a protein. Well, that is why they can mimic exactly what our body already makes and gets into the body and does what we need it to do. So, for example, Selenk. I love Selenk. Selenk's a peptide that it's good for neurocognitive.
I love Slank too.
He's stupid.
No.
I quit.
Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, I'm telling you, she's a genius with this stuff. Dude, she's seriously been reading books. You know what I mean? I'm nonstop. Everything that she's had me do. I mean, I still take right now. I still take Prozac daily. That helps me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
take,
think you need
I
to
mean,
get off all
but
that.
yeah, I
And
think I
like,
really need to get off that.
on
I'm
all
really
these other
into this
things that I
holistic
want you to
medicine. You
take.
know what I mean? These peptides trying to get your hormones and your
We should
body
do that. We
chemically
should make
balanced.
it.
You
We
know what I
should
mean? The way
make
it
it
should
like.
be.
We should make it a walkthrough process, guys. Like I'll draw those labs. I'll tell everybody what they are,
And I'm the
where they
test dummy. I
are.
don't care.
We can like show them on a thing, and then like let's show what happens when we do all these different things and how you feel. That'd be cool.
you'd have to come
Follow-ups.
here. You'd have to come here and draw my labs. So you need to come up to North Dakota.
I can do
Come on
that.
up. It's nice out
Done.
right now.
I'll numb it.
You got a couple weeks left.
The best drawer you ever had.
I don't care. Let's do it.
I like Trump.
I'm in.
The best you ever had.
The best.
The best.
The best.
About the best. The rest is shit.
No, I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind looking into it. Another
Have you
thing I
guys
highly
heard? Have
suggest
you
is
guys heard of this?
mushrooms.
No, yeah. Psilocybin is where it's at.
Dude.
It hits the NMDA path like receptor, which like controls glutamate regulation, which a lot of us have neuroplasticity decrease, so then we don't have then
Sounds dumb.
glutamate that
I'm kidding.
if you read about it, you understand what I'm saying. Like
They know it sounds so smart. That's why it's funny.
glutamate is everything. When the glutamate doesn't work through the NMDA pathway, you can't make all the neuroendocrine hormones.
Right.
Like serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine. I can go on and on.
Of course.
Whatever. You're being a jerk.
No, I am not.
Punch him in.
Seriously, not at all.
Punch him in.
But anyway, so ketamine clinic, what I work out now, and we do Spravato, which Spravato is approved by insurance. And in fact, anybody out there with like TRICARE can get it approved. And Spravato is ketamine treatment, which ketamine is known as like, I know right here, Special K and the K hole and all that.
Yeah.
But, you know, like when you use it under supervision and all that, it's a lot lower dosing. It's nothing like that. But you still get disassociative, and you still definitely get to what I think is like a third dimension, if I had to guess. But
I didn't know that they use that like that.
yeah,
bro.
they do. And so
I
it
know
might
they're
be
doing a lot
at
with the psilocybin, but
yeah. So
Yeah,
at the
I'll try
clinic
it.
that I work at, we give that. We
I
give
didn't know
IV and we give intranasal. And like insurance actually covers intranasal, so you come twice a week for a month and you come once a week for a month. But just let's talk about suicide ideations point blank, right? So they happen, and it's like this terrible veil. You want it to lift, you know it's not normal, you don't want to think it, you want it to go away, but fuck, it won't quit. You can't stop thinking about death.
Yeah.
You can't stop thinking about wanting to kill yourself. And it's this terrible feeling that people don't want to have. And Spravato actually usually makes that go away within the first or second treatment. And then let's reflect on that now too. Like Dr. Gordon, like he teaches about this in all his like lectures I take. And he talks about how like so interleukin 2, interleukin 6, and TNF are always elevated in brains with depression, anxiety, PTSD, which all comes down to neural inflammation. So the inflammation in your brain automatically eventually comes to a turn off point where it's like, turn off. Like, this isn't normal. I don't want to be here. Turn it off. So we all have a breaking point where that inflammation, all that stuff builds up. Scientifically, it gets to a point where you're like, shut it off. But there's a way to reverse all of that if you treat the root cause of where it's happening, which a lot of the time scientifically has come from neural inflammation, whether that's you're drinking alcohol all the time, or you have cytokines from a virus like COVID, or you have PTSD, which has caused an increase in inflammation in your brain of interleukin 2, 6, and TNF. Like, I could go on, but all of these things end up coming to inflammation in the brain. It's fascinating. Like, read up on it. It's all in the literature.
That's badass.
It really
So then,
is, dude.
yeah.
She, I
So
mean,
with
dude,
like
she constantly coming up with new books and telling me all about them. I mean, obviously, I'm like, that sounds dumb, whatever, but it's genius. You know what I mean? It seriously freaking is. I talk all the shit I
you
want.
know,
It's
you know
helping
what's
me.
wild to me is how much of it I actually understand when she's talking. I was like, I get what she's saying. I know what she's saying,
The
kind
way she
of.
explains, yeah, yes, 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 yes. She explains it literally
Well, we
like the
Makes me
way
all
want to
she
go
we
explained
upstairs
all
it
and
to
eat
you,
some
like
mushrooms
experience.
like
right
you
now.
like she was talking to a complete new
No,
patient she ain't never met
no,
before.
it's like we
But that's
all
why all her
experience
patients and everybody
anxiety
love her
and
so much,
depression over
and
time.
they're
Oh yeah, I
We
bet.
all
drawn to her
experience
because that's
it.
how she talks. You know what
For
I mean?
anybody to say that they have never experienced anxiety and depression is like wild. Like, everybody experiences it
Right?
some time in their
Yeah.
life. It's just how long it drags on and how long it feels like like it's like quicksand. You get stuck in that position too long, it sucks you up. And it feels like there's no way out of it and nobody's going to help you out of it. And all it takes is a strong hand, and 99% of the time it's God.
Yep.
And I tell you what, like,
Woo.
there's a feeling
True.
that you
Ooh,
get, and it's not
Straight
one
up.
that you ever want to experience, but it's not a good one, and like, it can happen to anyone at any time.
Yeah.
But there's usually a lot of reasons to it, and if you think about it, most of the people you know that's been in that position is because they've been under a lot of stress, if you think about it,
Yeah.
or they've been through something and they can't get turned around. Like, they need help,
Like
and it's
Nichols.
not just an antidepressant that you can get over the counter. For one, it's connection to humans. Like, we all have to feel connected. I don't care what you give somebody, if they don't
Yeah.
feel connection with somebody and they don't feel like they're helping somebody in some way, they'll never feel fulfilled. All of us can sit and think about the times that we feel true joy and happiness, and it's because we've helped somebody. It's the only reason why we feel it.
Zero sugar, guys.
That's Jesus. WWJD, baby.
y'all are
Hey, Jesus want us
ridiculously on point.
to
Like,
I'm telling you, this is my soulmate.
we need to go to Mexico again. That was
Without
a
it,
fun trip.
we all really do.
No,
Really, really
but
do.
there's a lot of extra stuff that can help. Like, you guys have, like, this is beyond normal environmental factors and socioeconomic factors. Like, this is called, you're in the middle of war, you're on fight or flight, your adrenal glands are like, blast off cortisol, we're gonna die if we're not on, like, point tonight like a tarantula.
Well, let me ask you too.
And
How long were you all back between deployments?
Like 10
Less than a
months.
year.
Less than a year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not enough. Are you
Yeah.
kidding
Same.
me?
You know what I mean? That same. So when
How do you
when I was
think?
told you
How
what I
do
mean,
you
like
even?
your
No,
adrenal
hold on.
glands, like they
Can
don't
I
have
back
enough
this
time. But
up?
hold on real quick, because maybe after your first deployment, you know what I mean. Me personally, I'd say after about 2-3 months, like I felt like I was kind of adapted. You know what I mean,
I
most part, and
I
then
want to
I went
back
right
up.
back. But then when I came back from my second deployment, I feel like it took maybe a little bit longer. But then I seriously ended up feeling like I was back adapted. But when I got out the military, I mean, I
No,
could
you're not.
obviously
You're
tell
still
there was
not
not I
adapted.
mean, I wasn't
You're not
adapted
adapted
for nothing.
now.
You know what I
You'll
mean?
never be adapted. But
I feel like I'm pretty good now.
you're not. That's for sure. But what I
Well, damn. How do you feel?
yeah,
I'm like looking at this, like my wife beats me now, so I can't say shit.
I should beat him,
My
but I
God.
don't.
Oh, dude, she does.
He wishes I did.
She looks nice. She looks nice, but she's got a mean right hook.
Yeah, it's like Rousey up in here.
Uh-oh.
That better
Yeah,
not be
it's
a
a good.
fucking cigarette. I
It's
wish that
not.
was a
It is.
joint.
It's disgusting.
It's a
And Cruz
fat
told him
joint.
tonight, like, you need to stop smoking cigarettes, Dad.
My son did tell me tonight, first time he's ever told
And
me,
look at you.
like, you're gonna
And
die.
look at you. And look at you. Right
I
now.
know, dude. It's fucking bad, dude.
Put it out.
I quit the first year he was born.
I will disconnect you from
Did
this
you really?
podcast.
The,
Dude.
the day before he was born, we got admitted to the day
I don't want
before
people
he was
smoking cigarettes on
born.
my goddamn show.
We got admitted to
Oh
the
my gosh
hospital.
darn.
And as
So,
we were
I'm sorry.
walking
He doesn't
in,
like me saying that.
I dumped my cigarettes and lighter into the trash can, and I was like, I'm done. And Abby was like, yeah, right. I cold turkey right then. I quit. A year later, after Cruz is like a year old, it may be just over a year old, we went out with her brother and sister and uncle and shit to a bar. And I was like, oh, I can have a cigarette or two. You know what I mean? I'll be fine. It's just a couple cigarettes. Next day, I bought a full fucking pack, dude. Immediately. First day, next day, I was like, man, I need a cigarette now. Yeah.
They're gross.
When I
I
quit
could
this
never.
time, there's no way I will go back. I mean, I can't even try it. Because I really
Dude,
didn't
I
crave
couldn't-
one at
I
all.
could
throughout
never.
the days. You know what I mean? It's only, really only the first couple weeks.
The last cigarette I smoked was, remember, we were trying to rent that I think we were trying to rent a boat or something in Mexico, or you were trying to talk some dudes out of something. We were on the beach, and I was like, man, I need a cigarette. I'm bored standing
Mowgli.
here. You're like,
We-
you're like, I'm gonna start smoking
Turner,
again, and then I'm
Channing,
like, nah.
Abby, and I smoked a Mexican J and then went and swam with dolphins.
Channing did
bro.
not. Channing did not.
Oh, yeah, she
smoke,
did not.
but she did go with us.
But she did go.
We all did shots of tequila.
Yeah, we all
right
did
before
shots of
we went
tequila,
to.
and Abby,
I
Kyle,
was
and
definitely
I,
fucked up when I swam with
we
dolphins. That's all I know.
smoked
I
some
was
Mexican
definitely
J,
fucked up.
and then we went and
I
swam
got in
with
trouble.
the dolphins, dude. I stood on
I got
top of two dolphins and rode on top of the water.
Y'all are crazy.
It cost $200 to do that, but guess how much the pictures cost?
Could take no pictures.
Like 400.
The pictures cost
Bullshit.
$500.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I swear to you, dude.
He
Hand on the
ain't
Bible.
lying.
I am not
They
lying,
weren't
brother.
$500, you liar. They're like $50 more, like $250.
They were a lot of money. They were more than what the excursion was.
It was for
Abby
sure
said they were
double
only
at
$50
least.
more, so it was $300. Whatever. Still
Whatever.
$300 for some freaking
Shit should have
pictures.
came with it.
You know what I mean? Golly.
But yeah.
Those poor dolphins. We should report them to the labor
All right.
industry.
Bye. I'm gonna mute you for a second. No, I'm just kidding. We have gotten long drawn away from our show here. I forgot for a second we were on a show.
Hey, I'll let y'all go. I timed in on y'all shit.
No, we need to get Abby scheduled in to talk
100%.
more about that
I mean,
shit for sure.
I
And we
want
also
to
need to
pick
get
your brain, dude.
you scheduled in as well to talk.
Definitely.
So I'll send you guys that link, and then we'll do that. But yeah, not to like be like get the fuck out. Yeah, you can stay, but we're gonna finish this, and I'm gonna go upstairs and see if my wife's
I ain't got to
awake.
go home, but I got to get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm just gonna mute you now. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just playing,
Wrap
man.
that shit up, B. No,
I love y'all,
no, I
man.
feel bad.
It's fucking
No, I feel
crazy.
bad.
Love you too, dude.
I can't wait to fucking hang out.
Yeah, man, dude, we need to plan that shit. Mexico, or no, your wife's gonna come up and
Fucking
draw my
Mexico. I
blood
don't
for
care
this
if it's just
peptide
dates,
thing.
man. I just wanna see y'all.
Peptides?
If it's just us three, I don't give no fuck.
I'm in.
I want to see y'all,
I bet if we actually
Be
planned
somewhere
it,
in the
it
middle.
would happen.
without a doubt.
We're just out just going like, hey, are we going to Mexico? And then one person's like, no, and then like, okay, no.
Hey, we have the.
I guess that person's
we
just
have the whole week of
missing
4th of
this
July
one.
off.
Hey, we seriously do have the whole week of 4th of July off.
I'll look it up.
We all like
Yeah.
the Star Spangled Banner.
Amen. Hallelujah.
I'm American. Hallelujah. All right, love you guys.
Love y'all. Later.
All right, dude, that was fucking awesome. I know definitely we want to have Abby back on. I know it's something we talked about too. Is she has a lot of that information on that TBI stuff, and
Yeah, I want to pick her brain on that stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
we,
I feel really
kinda
bad.
shut up.
I didn't mean to like cut them off like that, but I didn't
Nah,
want to
dude,
sit
good.
down here all night. Like we can always Bledsoe. We can always FaceTime anytime you want. But yeah. Anyways, we did have a couple comments. I know back to the letter to me subject. Looks like Papa said, so I'm guessing is Jana, is that her mom, Mindy's mom? or who's
Yeah.
Jana. So be less
That's
impulsive, think
grandmother.
things through, and listen to what others say. They might just be telling you something that will make a difference.
I like that.
Mindy said, I would tell my younger self the pain of the situation is temporary. It will pass, and never lose sight of your reasons or your goals. Remember to take care of yourself. You must secure your own oxygen mask in order to help others. That's true.
Hey, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
it is true. I mean,
The end
that's
of that. I like
number
that.
one rule on flights. You know, you can't put on the you can't put on someone else's mask so you got yours on. You're not supposed to. So yeah, that's a good
Yeah, that's a
analogy. I
good.
like it.
Yeah, that's I like. Yeah, I agree. Because I'm that way. Because I'm definitely that way. I get too caught up on helping out other people, I forget I need to help myself first.
Yeah, and then like the giving tree's empty, and then
Yeah.
and then you just got nothing left to give yourself, and yeah, and then you catch yourself exhausted. You know, that's what I think my trip to Colorado really did for me is just give me that kind of reset that I needed. And yeah, I just came home, and it's ever since, for the last 3 weeks now, I've just been super trying to just be super thankful that I'm just in the position I'm in. There's a lot of people that that don't get to spend their time with their kid, and I do. I get to spend a lot of time with my son, and it's a beautiful thing. I might have hard days, it might be long days, but it's getting nicer out. We got shit to do.
Yeah.
Get that vitamin D, go outside, take a walk, throw some discs.
Heck yeah,
Disc
dude.
golf, that's huge.
Yeah, outlets are good. Outlets are good for mental health overall. So is outlets like disc golf or what we did today, like what we did tonight or what we shared tonight. Journaling is really good. There's more than one way to journal. I don't think I've ever talked about this before. The only person that knows about this is my wife. But I have a note. I have a note in my phone that I keep on hand, and I've updated it since 2015. I write in it. I don't write in it every single day, but like every time my mind goes down like a negative pathway, I jot all those negative thoughts on that same note in my phone, and it's followed me ever since. Even like outlandish thoughts, like stupid, like when you're in the heat of the moment and you're like super pissed off about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I write it down, and one is to look back on just so I can reflect, but two is just so I can see exactly what I'm getting mad at, and like what that outcome is, just so I can just tell myself like, yeah, that's an idiotic thing to think about. Like, why would you think that? And
Yeah.
I made the mistake. I'll say it live right now. I made the mistake of like accidentally sharing it with my wife once, and that didn't go over too well because she didn't realize the context of it. But we sat down, we talked, and she, because
It's like the intrusive thoughts box.
Exactly.
Like the
intrusive
driving
thoughts
down the
box.
highway and like, should I just fucking, the other
Yeah.
lane real quick kind of thoughts? Yeah, I get it, dude. I completely get it. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
vision. Yeah, I unfortunately say those out loud. So
Yeah. There's
that's
there's more
my
than
problem.
one way to vent. Yeah.
And mine is apparently through going to volume 11 out of 10 and saying those thoughts out as loud as I can when I'm pissed.
You know what's crazy? Sometimes I wish I had that. I don't know if you
No, you
I don't know if
don't.
you personally view that as like a negative thing, but
I
sometimes
do.
I wish I could do shit like that.
I wish I was in the middle. I wish I was more in the middle because so what happens is, right? So like think about, right? Let's just think about my neighbors, right? I pull into this neighborhood is like super, I would say upscale, kind of a snooty kind of neighborhood, I guess. So there's kids everywhere and like a tattooed ruffian that owns a house next to you pulls in and all of a sudden he's motherfucker and throwing shit in the garage and mad, but then but he's still like, hey, how's it going? Because like he doesn't realize that he's Well, I mean, like I know I do it, but like it took me a long time to catch I think about like your intrusive thoughts that you write down. I have them out loud and I'm saying them, or I'm just like talking shit or whatever it is. Like I'll say some just outlandish bullshit out loud, and then just be like, and then then that shame of just like, God damn it, there's kids out, or like. And I've done that a couple times. I moved here. It's like, I mean, at the same time, like I don't fucking blame my neighbors for not liking me. So yeah, it is a negative thing, dude. Like, but at the same time, like, it gets out of my system. It's gone.
I was actually gonna ask you that. Like,
So it's
like with that, how you do that stuff? Do you find yourself bottling anything ever?
I bottle nothing, ever.
So I think that's
I say
pos-
I say negative. My wife will tell you. She just told me today, actually, and yesterday. She's like, "You say what is ever on your mind at all time," and it's like I don't know if that's like a character trait or a character flaw. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I truly don't. But again, it's one of those things that I wrote to myself about. Like that's who you are. That's who the fuck I am. If you know me, if you've known me, if you've ever known me. That one thing right there has never fucking changed. The only thing that's ever changed about me is how I view life, how I look at responsibilities, how I look at what makes a man, what makes an adult, I guess you would say. So I don't want to, so I don't know, like my priorities change. That's the only thing that's changed about me. Like I'm still the same person. But I'm trying like to aggressively change who I am because that's what I do. Like I'm aggressive. I don't just half-ass things. Like you told me, like remember when I started the shirt company, you were just like, dude, I just love that you're always like you chase things down that you want and you can do them. Yeah. Like now I got that in my back pocket. Like I could make shirts if I wanted to, but we signed, I'll even say it right now live, since for the 3 people listening, 30 million still. We did sign a sponsorship. So the people that made our shirts, the guy, one man, Anheuser Designs, Trevor Murphy, we did link into a little bit of a sponsorship. Basically, we're going to have some leather patches that you can press onto hats. We're probably just going to press a couple onto some hats. Sell them off, raffle them off we're close to 200 likes on Facebook. I think we're like 7 out. So once we get there, we wanted to do something special for having double digits on Instagram and Facebook. So maybe it'll be a shirt, maybe it'll be a hat, maybe it'll just be a patch, something like that. But so we will be sponsored for the next few episodes by Anheuser Designs and Trevor Murphy. We will also have him on. My goal with him is to kind of introduce to you guys the sport of disc golf, something that I found to be very helpful in getting my ass off the couch, and honestly, like, was a foundation in me and my wife's relationship when we met, because it was a way for us to get out of the house. In Colorado, we would go up into the mountains, play, spend all day like off in the mountains, just walking around in woods and throwing frisbees and checking out the view. Like I sent you those pictures when I was in those mountain courses a couple weeks ago. Like
beautiful.
That was where we went. Like, and now I'm here, and I'm just like, why am I here? Like, I know I'm here. It's better to raise a kid where I'm at. Smaller school. They're pretty. I don't know. But that's what I'm told anyway.
Yeah, disc golf, good outlet.
Very good outlet. Yeah.
That's a good outlet.
So he's that's where I found him, or that's where I knew him through, is because I had bought a hat off of him a while back, and he makes disc golf shirts and he makes smaller orders. So I didn't want to do order 50 to 100 shirts if we're not going to sell them, kind of thing. So he was able to do that pre-order thing, which is, I mean, if you guys reach out to him and you want to pre-order some shirts or do anything like that, you get a hold of him, tell him I sent you. They'll take care of you. The dude was super responsive to all the 1,000 questions I had for him, and we got this thing worked out. And these shirts are fucking sick too. Like, I really like this. Really like the shirts. I really like the shirts. It makes me feel official when I'm walking through my neighborhood of 800 people, and I'm like wearing my Veteran Chat Project shirt, and only two of them are like, I know that guy. And it's like my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Everyone else is like, that's that crazy guy from down the street. Just cussing in his garage all night.
Speaking of your neighborhood, um, uh, why don't you remind everybody what's going on? What's happening this week, dude, in your
Oh yeah,
local town?
Thursday night we're doing our first Veteran Chat Project meeting here in Kindred. Uptown Eatery is hosting us. So far, we don't have a huge turnout. Well, as far as I know, from people on Facebook anyway. I'll make another couple posts here throughout the week, but hopefully to just kind of sit down and chat and meet kind of some of the veterans in my area. This town, the town over, there's not really anything active anymore as far as VFW. I think they just tore down the American Legion building because it was kind of old and decrepit. So
To rebuild another one, or you just tore it down?
I think they just tore it down.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. We got some things coming. I don't know. There's some things getting built in the town, but it's like I said, it's a small town, so I believe stuff when I see it here.
Oh yeah,
It's got to
That's
go
cool.
through so many people, and it's like the politics are so if like for or against people here, it's pretty hard to play.
yeah. That's
But-
that sucks that they tore that down. Speaking of the VFW, I finally found mine in my neck of the woods.
Did you?
Yeah,
I mean,
that was,
they have one in Fargo, I think, or might have one in
Yeah.
Horace, but there's definitely not one here in Kindred.
Yeah, I was driving by. Was I dropping Nikki off of work? I think I was dropping my wife off work or something, and then I drove by and I was like, "What the?" And she's like, "Did you see that?" I was like, "Was that a VFW?"
Like tucked
She's like,
in.
"No." Yeah, she's like, "No, yeah, I know." She goes, "No, I know that's been there for a while." I'm like, "Excuse me, why did you say something?" She's like, "No, but did you see the tank out there?" I was like, "There's a tank out there."
Is it Abrams?
I don't know. She said it was an older one. So I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. If any of our listeners live in the Sumter area, I need to do a better job of interacting with my veteran community here in Sumter, South Carolina.
Hell yeah.
It's a big veteran community too. I didn't realize that when I moved here. It was Shaw Air Force Base, so close by. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for you. I hope you, like we said with this project. As long as we're helping one person, we're successful. So I hope at least one person walks through that door and shakes your hand and tells their story and has a chat with you on Thursday, dude. That's dope.
Yeah, and
That's
then
cool
if they
as
want
shit.
to, from there, they want to get on the show and share it, or, I can't decide if I want to set it up in there or just, like, let it be, like, a thing. I named it Veteran Chat Project Kindred, North Dakota. I don't know if that's throwing people off to make them think that I'm, like, recording a show or making it about the show.
Yeah.
So I have thought about changing it to something else, but, like, I just don't want to rebrand anything because I want it all to stay on brand. So I can just
Yeah.
go make a blue shirt and go, here's the Kindred one, I don't know.
That's cool. I mean,
Or make like
mean,
a
as
Kindred
much
North
as I would-
Dakota or Sumner, South Carolina, or do like something around the logo for like our local areas. That's again down the
dope.
road once we get like some.
our shirts have to be garnet or black
I like
because
this, dude, I love this flag.
South Carolina. I don't think
Yeah,
you
that
should.
would-
I don't think you should record that day. As much as I want to be a part of it and love to see it, I think that would be cool just to like for you to embrace whatever happens that day, and then next time you and I get on, share that stuff about what happened. I think you should just fucking embrace it and just enjoy it, and then soak in whatever happens that day, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
the old Mormon soak.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of hotel is this?
But I know we got a little carried away here in the middle, catching up with Bledsoe. I am extremely happy to see his face and
Yeah.
his beautiful eyes and his
Yeah.
That was the first time I actually got to like truly interact with his wife, who's 10 times smarter than he is and I am. That was cool. She had a lot of
we
good
definitely-
information. tbihelp.org. Y'all should go check that out. I'm gonna check it out once I hop off here.
Yeah.
But she had a lot of good information about the links between TBI and pharmaceuticals, how that stuff could help, or
I wonder if we could have, because my wife's a pharmacist. I wonder with that. I mean, she could probably have. I know. I mean,
those two would probably have a better conversation than her and I would have.
yeah. Yeah, we could probably get them into that, because my wife would probably really be into talking about that. She loves talking about her job. Well, like when she actually gets to talk about it for a reason like that, she would eat it up.
Oh yeah,
Especially
yeah.
with Abby, because they're friends. They made it. They got real close in Mexico. They were good. And then the Bledsoes came to our wedding as well. So. Like the whole Mexico group was there, except for Morrison and his wife, because Morrison, I think, I want to say he got gallbladder removed or something that weekend. He had like an emergency situation, so he couldn't make it. But yeah, that did suck. I'm like, dude, that's some bullshit. Sucks for you, buddy.
But yeah, we like I said, we that was cool to catch up with her and have her spit some knowledge, some science our way about TBI, PTSD, linking everything together.
It's like a real thing, People understand it. It's just like a doctor tells you need glasses to fix your eyesight. There's a real prescription. There's real prescriptions to fix, but not to necessarily fix, but I mean to help. Like for me, I like to think of it like a gear. So like it helps me lubricate the sprocket, grease the sprocket kind of deal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd get stuck in that negative mode. Yeah, I'd get stuck and then it would blow track, throw track if I didn't have them pills to kind of grease the sprocket. And that's just how I looked at it. It helps. I used to take fucking 2 different pills. Like I had to take them at night because they knock me out. But then I'm fine by the time I wake up. My wife hates it because I don't hear shit. Like Griffin will wake up crying and I don't hear nothing, dude. And like I wake up in the morning and like I'll look over and like Griffin's in the bed and like, oh hey, buddy, when did you get here? Like, wife's just like getting ready for bed, getting ready for work. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I slept in again.
She made a good point about the TBI, dude. About how like it's overlooked, and I don't want to like that is, it's insane how even in the world that I work in, the compensation and pension world for for disability claims, even like it's extremely hard to find doctors that are TBI that are qualified to like talk about TBIs. Like we got veterans that are like that live in like Columbia, the capital of South Carolina, that are putting in for TBI claims. Dude, they have to travel 2 to 3 hours outside of Columbia just to be seen by a TBI provider. So I think that's crazy. Is
that because they're backed up that far or short staffed at that VA or what?
No, it's because the VA won't do compensation and pension exams anymore.
Right.
It's neither. It's because there's so very few.
Doing TBI claims.
Yeah, like there's so very few providers that are like licensed and qualified to talk about TBI and to assess TBI claims. So like she's right on the money when it comes that no one talks about it. No one talks about TBI and how like TBI can like stem to a bunch of other things: anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress. And I can see why firsthand, like, you tell a veteran to put in for a TBI claim and they do. And then the next week they're told, okay, you have an appointment for your TBI claim so it can get assessed. You have to drive 4 hours to North Carolina for someone to see you. And they're like, what the fuck? I don't want to do that, dude. You're making my life harder.
I can't. Like, I got to go to work.
Or that too. Yeah, dude, I have a life. I can't take off work to drive 4 hours for a claim. So, yeah.
Right, for a 30-minute appointment.
Exactly. And most of the
that
time
we could have done over the fucking internet. We could have done over FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's right on that. She's right on the money on that. But we did kind of got carried away. But I'm fucking glad that we caught up with those two. You know, our initial, the initial reason for us getting on today. We usually don't record our episodes live. We record one episode live every other week. But we hopped on just so we can share our letters to ourselves. So, Kyle shared his, very powerful, very, very positive. I shared mine. It was shaky at first, but I'm glad I read it out loud. Like Kyle said when we started this thing off, he put that invitation out to everybody to write a letter to yourself. If you want to share it, share it. But we're not going to ask you to share it until we share it ourselves. So that's why we did it live tonight, just to show you that we mean what we say. So
Oh yeah.
hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. I feel like should we say it again or no? No. We
What?
don't have to. Should we do it again one more time before we sign off, or should we just
What, the
sign
letters?
off? Yeah. Or yeah, we'll just post, because I'm gonna post this episode right up tonight.
Oh yeah, dude. And then Kyle will post the episode tonight. It'll be on Spotify, right? Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you can find podcasts, it'll be put up. And then I will post my letter to the Veteran Chat Project Facebook, and I'll share it just so people can see it. And it's my hopes that it'll reach somebody, at least one person. And because if there's one thing that we found out by doing this in the last 4 months is that a lot of us have a lot of us are on the same boat, but there's plenty of us that don't want to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And as long as all it takes is one person, dude. I think that's just military mentality. I don't know what kind of mentality it is. Just like when you're volunteering for a detail, you're not going to volunteer until your buddy volunteers. So, I'll be the guinea pig and I'll post mine first, and hopefully we get to see some others share it, or at least say they did it, because that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome,
Right.
just to say you did it.
Absolutely. And yeah, don't forget to share it. If you see him post it tonight, tomorrow morning, whatever, share it. Even if it's not, something you think is related to you, it could help somebody down the line. So I mean, that's ultimately what we're all about. So I mean, we don't like to come out here and go, we're going to ask for money, we're going to ask for subscribers and that kind of stuff. Like, all we ask for is that people share the information that we provide, and the platform that we provide for people. Because, I mean, that's ultimately all we want to do, is surround ourselves with people who want to be better. That way we can help ourselves to be better at the end of the day. And if that means, that we gain some friends and a bigger family along the way, then fuck it. Come on. Let's go.
Oh yeah, man. So with that being said, if you want your stuff shared privately, you can send it to us at veteranchatproject@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because all the cool kids are there. I'm never going to stop saying that, by the way, about TikTok.
Oh, wait. TikTok. I don't know.
All the cool kids are on TikTok. We're there. Share. And if you want to listen to our episodes, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts. We've had some awesome guests come on and share their stories. Tonight it was mainly us talking, but I implore you to get on Spotify or anywhere you can find podcast and look up the guests that we've had on. We've had some very awesome guests who were willing enough to share their stories, and they've had some amazing stories. Stories. I was about to start listing them off, but I was gonna say I'll leave that challenge out to our listeners. I'll leave that.
Yeah, and let's get some feedback going too. If you guys ever
Yeah.
got any questions on the episodes, feel free to just post it on our wall. Shoot us a message. I mean, we're willing to chat about anything we say. We're willing to stand behind our message. We're willing to put our money where our mouth is when it comes down to that one person that matters. You're truly not alone. You message us at 2 a.m. If I'm awake, I hear the message, I'm gonna fucking say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? If not, I'm sure KZ will be, because he's kind of a night owl. He's usually out making reels and playing
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
as for tonight, folks, I guess thank you so much. Well, we got 5 people right now. We're gonna leave them. We shouldn't leave.
We got who's Channing Turner? I'm just kidding.
Oh, is my wife watching?
Yeah. What's up,
Uh
Mrs.
oh.
T?
Who can you see? Where can you see that?
Oh, it popped up. She was right here under on the
My
Facebook Live.
lady
It says
parts.
she's watching. Yeah.
My lady parts are watching. Well, now that my wife's watching, babe, how was dinner? And can you bring me some?
If you
No,
hey,
but
if you want to come on, there's yeah. If you want to come on, remember veteranchatproject@gmail.com. There's a couple people specifically that have been in this chat that I want to invite on, just because I'm gonna call her out too, just because she's been a staple in my life so far. My mother-in-law, I'd love to sit down and like, she's had nothing but wise words, and she's helped me along my path for the past 13 years. So I'm gonna throw that challenge out there because I know she's listening. So need to get you on just so you can share your wisdom with the world, because I think it'll help, because it helped me, and I feel like I'm one of the most stubborn veterans out there.
hell yeah, dude.
How was
What you
dinner?
get? I'm waiting for it.
Waiting for her to talk shit?
Waiting for an answer.
My words of wisdom came from my
I think
mama.
she's not watching no
She
more.
was on here too.
Challenge accepted. Send
There we
her
go.
the link. Schedule it up.
Challenge accepted. Yeah, I'll send it to her. We'll get her on here. Anything else, dude?
No, man, I think that's it. I thank you guys again so much. Let us know if you want us to start doing these episodes live. We set aside 2 nights a week to record, so I mean we could always do Mondays and Wednesdays and do live episodes, or we just pick one night a week, do that. So do our every Friday of Turret Talks, or we just turn the whole kind of thing into a sort of Turret Talk situation where it's always just kind of you can jump in and chat with us. So, you know, there's a lot of ways we can go with this thing. Mainly, we want to go whichever way our listeners would like to go, as far as, you know, we want to be as available to you guys as possible, just so we can keep this thing growing and going. So, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Have a good night.
Peace.